14. The Commanders over the Falcons 35-21. The Browns over the Colts 21-10. San Francisco starting to make a little bit of noise. They fell, though, to the – looks like, again, the coach center is starting to get his sea legs underneath of him. He definitely has a couple of players that are available for trade. Word is that Fred Warner is on the block. Christian McCaffrey is on the block. So you're talking about some elite talent. The Seahawks crushed the Rams 56-20. The Jaguars over the Bears 35-21. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fell to the Cincinnati Bengals 26-18. Green Bay, now, again, Coach Jimmy was ecstatic. He was running off the field. He was screaming. He was just literally beside himself because the Detroit Lions ran off to a 21-0 lead, 28-7. The Packers were able to come back and literally snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, 40-35 in a game that went back and forth. And there's no love lost between these two organizations. Coach Jimmy, again, just doesn't have the respect for Coach Rail and vice versa. So I would imagine when these two teams continue their battles throughout the franchise that they're going to be, going back and forth as far as trash talk is concerned. And again, we just talked about the Carolina Panthers over the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-23. And then in week 6 action, again, what we talked about earlier was the AFC North had, those teams were battling today. And Baltimore destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals 52-27, 349 yards on the ground from the Ravens. Looking at it, 6 turnovers. You're just not going to win when you commit 6 turnovers. Joe Burrow, 19 for 32, 5 interceptions. Again, you're just not going to win when you commit 6 turnovers in the PHFL. The Ravens ran out to a 31-14 lead and literally just, dominated the line of scrimmage and crushed the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Pittsburgh Steelers knocked off the Cleveland Browns 43-35. So the question, that we had was, has the Steelers and the Ravens separated themselves from the Browns and the Bengals? I think right now the Steelers have knocked off the Browns 3 consecutive games. Now, the Browns did make it close. They got it within 8. But again, looking at it, jumped off to a 24-14 lead and, pretty much, again, kind of just dominated both quarters or both halves, rather, en route to a 43-35 victory. And, again, looking at it, Sam Howell, 17 for 24, 5 sacks, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And, Joey O, again, we didn't understand why Shador was traded because the Browns organization put a lot in Shador last year, and he led them to the playoffs. The rookie, again, 20 for 31, 324 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the loss. So, again, we're not saying that the locker room, is fractured because of that decision to trade Shador. But again, has that trade made has that made the Browns better? I'm not 100% sure. So let's look at some stats, and let's look at the Browns. Let's look at Joey O. So again, 61% completion percentage. It's not great. 300 yards passing, for the per game, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Not horrible, but again, when you look at the PHFL leaders in passing right now, let's look at, again, Tua averaging 400 yards per game, Patrick Mahomes averaging 400 yards per game, Shador Sanders with the Raiders. Again, you know what? Let's do this. Let's look at Shador from last year and look at his stats from last. I don't know. He had 53 touchdowns in 23 interceptions, completing 61% of his passes. Man, 118.4 QBR with over 5,000 yards. That's going to be a tough hill for Joey O to climb because Shador, as a rookie, he had a great year. So I don't know why, again, you would make that trade. But again, we're definitely going to see, what's to come with the with the Cleveland Browns. And we got a message from the Titans PR team and their Twitter. What do you got to say about those Titans? Hold on, Coach. We definitely got some words for the Titans. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this then? Let's get to the PHFL power rankings since the Titans wanted to get some love. So in our first two teams, again, kind of no surprise from our first two teams, or at least the number one team right now. The Seattle Seahawks right now are the class of the PHFL. They're undefeated, right? And they just made just a great trade. Now they have 3 elite cornerbacks. So they're going to be a team, right, that's going to be – it's definitely going to be tough to pass on. And if they get any consistent running game any consistent pass rush and they're able to stop the run, that team is going to be hell on wheels to knock off. So, again, the Seattle Seahawks are coming in at number 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers, even though, again, they had an early season hiccup, right now they're playing some good football, even though they lost to the Carolina Panthers. Again, they're playing overall some really solid football. So they're coming in at number 2 in the PHFL power ranking. Again, coming off a great win over the Cleveland Browns. And again, the AFC North is literally about matchups. It seems like, the matchup between maybe the Steelers and the Browns, even though that's kind of changing now, it seems like the last couple of games it's been, first the Browns and now it's shifted towards the Steelers. And then you have the just the acrimony and just the hatred between the Ravens and the Steelers. And I believe, again, I can't wait till we get Neon so we can be 100% more factual, but I believe the Steelers have won the last, I think, 3 games over the Baltimore Ravens. So again, that's going to be a rivalry between those 4 teams that literally could just change, at the drop of the dime. Coming in at number 3 in the PHFL power ranking is your Baltimore Ravens, coming in at 4-1 on the season, just knocked off the Cincinnati Bengals in strong fashion. So those teams, again, just kind of knock off each other. The Bengals, and again, it'll be a question whether or not they make it into the power ranking, but their 2 losses, again, are against AFC North rivals. So again, those 2 teams are just going to, kind of battle it out and just kind of knock off each other in the AFC North. Coming in at number 4 in the PHFL power rankings is your LA Chargers. Again, 5-1 on the season. They lost their opening game of the season and now has ran off 5 straight. Again, the Chargers are a team that, they're going to fly under the radar. They're going to put together some wins, win 11, 12 games. They're going to win their division, and they're going to be a tough out, as they continue to develop their young talent. I would definitely say they're going to be a sneaky team, if not this season, the next season in the AFC. But again, shout out to Coach FB, who is, consistently produces a winner in the City of Angels. Coming in at number 5 is your Buffalo Bills. Right now, they're the only undefeated team in the PHFL. I believe they have a couple of sim wins, but again, you gotta take them as you get them in the PHFL. It's not given, it's earned. So again, they're 5-0. So again, we got to give them their respect in the PHFL power ranking. The Buffalo Bills are coming in at 5-0 in coming in at number 5 in the PHFL power rankings. Coming in at number 6 is your Tennessee Titans. I mean, we gotta give some homage to those Titans, man. You know, they're coming in under the radar. They have a great opportunity. They got, I believe, a 2 or 3 game lead in the AFC South. So, I mean, you know, they are a team right now that is going to be sneaky. You know, they could be sneaky, you know, in the playoffs. So let me take a look at first the AFC South, because I believe that they have I want to say a 3-game lead. So right now, yeah, they got a 3-game lead. I mean, if they blow this, man, this might be the biggest choke job in PHFL history. If they can't hold on to a 3-game lead, if they just go 500, you know, or 1 game over 500, that's going to be 10 wins. So right now, let me look at it. Hold on. Let's look at their upcoming games. I mean, their only loss is to the Commanders. They got the Cowboys coming up. You know, Coach True, that's going to be tricky. Okay, then they got the Browns. Then they got the Giants. Then they got the Ravens. Yeah, it may be all good just a week ago. But right now, we're going to celebrate this week. We ain't going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about this week. You know, so because the Cowboys going to be tough. The Browns are going to be tough. The Giants going to be hell on wheels because everybody knows about how the Giants going to play. And then you got the Ravens. Then you got the Jags, and then you got the Steelers. So, again, right now at 4-1, you got to, we see, I know, Coach, it's tough out there, you know. No, we ain't going to say it's a choke job, Coach, but you got a 3-game lead. You got to stack wins. Like, you right now, you at home, you should beat the Cowboys. You should beat the Cowboys, you at home. The Browns are going to be tough. That's going to be a tough game. So, let's say, you're at 5-2. The Giants, you should beat the Giants. You know, with all due respect to my boy, Coach Whoop. The Ravens, that's going to be tough. Then you got the Jaguars. You should beat them. Then you got the Steelers. So you should be coming out with at least 7-3. Yeah, 7. Yeah, you haven't had your bye week. By the time you get to your bye week, you should know at the worst, you should be 7-4. 8-3, 7-4. So, again, okay, he said, I'm finna to catch Shifty or Deezy. Pick one. Okay, and listen, we don't want to put no bulletin board material out in the PHFL, you know, but again, he did call out Coach Shifty and Coach Deezy. He said, pick one. I can't pick one, Coach. I don't see it. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I don't see it. Hold on, you see, you're at Pittsburgh, and then you're home against the Browns. I can't see it, Coach. But again, you know what? That's why they play the game, Coach. That's why you get up there. You as my man, Coach Shupp said, you put cleats on the field. That's it, man. You put dirt all on your face and you put cleats on the field, and the games are played on the TV screen and not on the TV screen. You know what I mean? So again, the Tennessee Titans are coming in at number 6 in your PHFL power ranking. Coming in at number 7 is your Cleveland Browns. Again, you know, tough loss today to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Made a hell of a comeback against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, you know, this is going to be, you know, as far as the AFC North. Again, you know, one of the things that, you know, we're not going to just punish teams, you know, when they have a loss. Again, the type of loss is definitely going to be, factored in. But both of the Browns' losses was against the Steelers. It was at 26-21 and 43-35. So they got the Titans coming up again. You know, Coach. You know, again the Titans coach hit him up and said, "Listen, pick one." And then you got the Bengals. Then he got the Bengals, and then he got the Saints, and then he has a bye. So again, you know, then he got the Eagles, the Ravens, the Panthers, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Bucks. That's a nice stretch for the Browns. A nice stretch. But right now, the Browns are coming in at number 7 in the PHFL power ranking. Coming in at number 8 is your Miami Dolphins. Now, again, we're definitely going to give them kind of grace this week because, again, they haven't played their last 2 weeks. The Bears and the Bills, again, not saying because anything could happen, but again, you know, you definitely would have to favor the defending PHFL champions, if those games would have been played. But right now, again, we'll kind of give them grace